National Cybersecurity Center Chief Executive Ciaran Martin said targets for disruption by Kremlin have spread beyond the UK's hard infrastructure such as energy networks to include democratic institutions and the media, he told peers and MPs. Mr. Martin told the Parliamentary Joint Committee on National Security Strategy, "In the last 2 years, we have seen a consistent rise in the appetite for attack from Russia on critical sectors, as well as diversification to other sectors they may attack. In addition to the more traditional targeting of hard infrastructure, like energy infrastructure, we have seen against the West as a whole the targeting of softer power democratic institutions, media institutions and things relating to freedom of speech." He added, "We have seen a diversification by North Korea away from what might be called political retaliation attacks into, frankly, the theft of money, which is what we believe was behind the WannaCry attack." Mr. Martin highlighted the threat from bugs in systems waiting to be activated. "Are we concerned about lurking hostile presences on networks? Yes," he said. "Does that mean they can be automatically and immediately turned hostile? I think it's a bit more complicated." He warned of a sustained Russian presence in the UK and US internet infrastructure as a part of a campaign. "It's a foothold, it's an intrusion that you can use for ongoing espionage purposes or you can use to develop it as the potential for a hostile and disruptive and destructive act in the future," he added. Theresa May's deputy David Lidington said last year's WannaCry ransomware attack, which paralysed computers across the NHS, reinforced the need for UK authorities to get a greater grip on the vulnerability of critical infrastructure. He told the committee, "What we are seeing is a range of cyber threats from both nation-states and cyber criminals, a rising level of threat with more frequent and more complex attacks and more sectors that we can identify as being at risk." Last year we saw attacks on CNI, critical national infrastructure, in the health, media, telecoms and energy sectors. "We have become more aware in the last 2 years of the potential vulnerability of CNI supply chains as a target for attack. Attacks like WannaCry showed the vulnerability of some computers to even a small-scale breach, like the insertion of an infected memory stick into a single machine." Mr. Lidington said, "It is important we get a greater grip on these supply chains," he added. "We have also started to become even more aware than we were 2 years ago of the capacities of certain state actors and their readiness to use that cyber capability."